prison tats, a gleaming Rolls Royce, and a roar that could rattle drywall. For 5 years, Wes Watson has sold the internet a single thunderous promise. Do exactly what I say, and you'll cash out like me. But dig 2 inches beneath the screaming and the Ferraris, and you might just find a rusted set of prison bars he never really left. So buckle up, because tonight we're tracing every busted lie, broken client, and handcuff snap in the rise and fall of the self-proclaimed penitentiary prophet. Wesley James Watson hit the California Department of Corrections in 2009 after a decade of drug hustles finally caught up to him. 10 years later, he stepped out, tatted head to ankle, voice graveled by yard politics, vowing he'd never waste another sunrise. Within weeks, he pointed an iPhone at his face and unloaded the now famous rant, "Prison gangs, you have no choice." Viewers were hypnotized. Here was a man fresh from the Shark Tank, talking about gasoline-soaked knives and mandatory workouts like it was Tuesday yoga. The clip shot past 5 million views. Sponsors whispered. Subscribers surged. Wes smelled blood. In a good way. If prison made him tough, YouTube could make him rich. But every legend, especially ones forged in concrete, comes with a footnote. While civilians cheered, real convicts raised eyebrows. Former inmates on channels like Fresh Out, Lockdown 23-1, and entire Reddit threads dissected every detail he dropped. The security level numbers, the politics he claimed ruled the yard, even the way he folded his prison whites. "Bro was at level 2 dorms," one ex-lifer laughed. "That's Xbox with razor wire." Another pointed out he mixed up Norteño and Sureño hand signals, an error no genuine shot caller would dare. They nicknamed him Stolen Valor Sally, the jailhouse version of a guy wearing unearned medals. And while those critiques brewed quietly in 2019, once money entered the chat, they erupted. But Watson wasn't just cashing AdSense checks. He was laying blueprints for a cash machine. The catalog exploded faster than his bench press. For $40,000, he'd grant you a year of mindset mastery, 1 Zoom per week, and daily Telegram voice notes. For $3,000 a month, he'd scale your coaching business to $50,000 a month. Didn't have a business? No problem. He'd teach you to teach other people to teach. Sales pages read like a late-night steak knife commercial on steroids, literally. He claimed $47,000 recurring daily. He blasted Instagram stories from a rented Brickell penthouse, revving a 720S. "I make $30,000 to $150,000 a day without moving a muscle." Followers ogled. Sense checked out the back door, because once you believe a man prints money before breakfast, paying him becomes an investment, not a loss. Except thousands soon realized the only predictable thing was the rage they'd get in return. Meet the Dutch Demon, a longtime fan who scraped together $1,500, half the advertised fee, after Watson graciously offered a discount. Call number 1, canceled. Call number 2, canceled. Watson was filming tennis practice for his girlfriend's kids. Call number 3, canceled, then ghost. 3 months later, the dude's chat history vanished from trainer eyes. Money, gone. Respect, buried under a mountain of voice notes telling him to uppercut yourself for being soft. Reddit.com, and he's not alone. BBB filings mention chargebacks, bait and switch upsells, and generic Google screenshot meal plans. One former client, Luis Arevalo, paid $20,000 for 3 months of high-level closeness. He got one 15-minute call and a swift boot when he dared to question the value. Watson's defense: "If you can't handle how I talk, you don't deserve success." Fresh and Fit. November 30th, 2024, a six-way panel about success. When conservative debater Andrew Wilson said success equals family greater than money, Wes detonated. He mocked Wilson's weight, promised to smack you on camera, demanded everyone take their shirts off, and shouted the same question 17 times. "Do you even have money?" Rumble moderators cut his mic. The chat roasted him into oblivion. Blog recaps called it a masterclass in insecurity. The meltdown shredded whatever goodwill remained. But internet rage is one thing, real-world rage is another. December 29th, 2024, Elevation Fitness, Miami. Phone footage captures a 5-foot 8-inch bulldozer squaring up, then clubbing a larger man with a steel water bottle. 2 hours later, Watson is booked on simple battery. He shrugs it off in an Instagram rant. "Self-defense, homie." 6 weeks pass. February 6th, 2025. Miami-Dade PD rolls up again, this time on felony battery charges stemming from the same altercation. Courts haven't ruled yet, but the mugshot ricocheted across Twitter, dragging sponsors into no-comment mode. And while the legal fire burned, another darker accusation resurfaced. Ex-wife Valerie told a 2023 podcast she was waiting for things to calm legally before detailing years of alleged physical abuse. Previous girlfriend Morgan hinted at similar violence on TikTok lives. Screenshots on our Wes Watson show police report snippets and bruised photos. Unverified, but consistent. And Redditors compiled 5 separate partners claiming threats or battery. Watson dismisses it all as haters, yet court filings in San Diego list a 2022 temporary restraining order, public record. Whether those claims stick, the pattern is hard to ignore. When challenged, Watson doesn't debate, he detonates. So why do thousands still line up with credit cards out? Because Watson is symptom, not disease. Step 1, flaunt symbols, cars, abs, penthouse. Step 2, promise secret path. Step 3, price it just outside comfort so the pain equals skin in the game. Step 4, if client fails, blame their mindset. If they complain, brand them soft. Repeat. It's the same playbook used by crypto pumpers, dropship millionaires, even televangelists. Wes merely wrapped it in prison lore and steroid veins. Which brings us to the only part that really matters: what you do next. The loudest voice in the yard often isn't the strongest. It's just the one echoing off concrete walls. Wes Watson taught us that a roaring persona, designer denim, and a rap sheet backstory can hypnotize millions, temporarily. He also proved that lies age like milk under Florida sun. So drop a comment. What's the biggest red flag you've spotted in an online guru? Tell your story, anonymously if you need, and hit subscribe, because our next deep dive might just save your wallet. And if Wes is watching, remember, the strongest men don't yell, they outgrow the walls that once held them.